Dragon Ball Super manga chapter number 20 has now officially been revealed, and this particular manga chapter showcases certain events that heavily differ from the anime, and of course which makes this chapter one of my favorites and pertains to what happens between Goku, Vegeta, and Goku Black, and which of course has significant differences between both the anime and the manga. Now this particular manga chapter starts off right where we left off with future Zamasu healing Goku Black. Now the reason why this is very important is because according to Herms98 on Twitter, who's translated most of the chapter, the reason why future Zamasu is very vital to Goku Black is because Goku Black thrives off pain, which makes him stronger, and having future Zamasu on his side repeatedly healing him makes him that much more powerful. So it's because of future Zamasu's healing ability that makes Goku Black that much more powerful. So we actually get to see in the manga chapter how Black turns the tides on Vegeta, and also making his Super Saiyan Rose debut, completely outclasses and decimates Vegeta. Now unlike the anime, here we have an actual battle taking place between Vegeta and Goku Black. Now we see Vegeta's on the run as Goku Black transforms and unleashes rapid ki blasts all over the area, but of course Vegeta is no match for Goku Black. We get to see how Toyotaro has actually included several shots where Vegeta's throwing kicks and Black is avoiding every one of Vegeta's kicks, as we see Vegeta on the offensive, but every single time Vegeta tries to do anything, Goku Black counters. And unlike before in the anime when we saw Goku Black just stab Vegeta, we actually have a back and forth pace between Super Saiyan Blue Vegeta and Super Saiyan Rose Goku Black. Now if there's one thing that's stated in this manga, and it was stated by Zamasu, Zamasu guesses that when gods surpass Super Saiyan God, they become pink rather than blue, and which makes up for Super Saiyan Blue, that being the corrupt variation of that. Goku Black bears that form and completely outclasses Vegeta. Now again, Vegeta does use the Senzu beans to recover his health after a while, but he does not seem to gain any Zenkai boost, which is very weird. But in case you guys thought that was weird, there are several other things that were shown in this manga chapter that get even weirder. But we see how Black beats Vegeta down and then talks about how he wiped out all the mortals throughout parallel worlds, which indicates, and even going back further in the manga chapter, how Black suggested that he was the one that wiped out all the gods, and how he went from world to world, from universe to universe, clearing out all mortals in order to initiate and continue his plan for the Zero Mortals initiation. So we see how obviously enough there is no stab wound according to what I'm being shown. Vegeta does not get stabbed by Goku Black, however he does get beat down severely, but meanwhile Vegeta is fighting Goku Black, we see how Goku actually engages with future Zamasu and beats him down very easily, until of course future Zamasu steals and destroys Goku's Senzu bean bag, something that we haven't seen in the anime before. And of course, if I can add my own opinion to this, I do believe that this particular manga chapter is slightly better than what we saw during the anime, because while Goku is fighting Zamasu, easily outclassing him, we see how Zamasu quickly manages to outpace Goku, steal his Senzu beans, and destroy them, leaving Goku puzzled. Meanwhile, Vegeta is fighting Black one-on-one, and we get to see how although Black is avoiding Vegeta, despite the situation, he still has the upper hand. But it's not just the simple fact that Goku Black has the upper hand. If you pay attention to each individual shot, you get to see how Goku Black and Vegeta are struggling against one another, or that's what it appears to look like, until Black beats down Vegeta. Vegeta eats the Senzu bean, but there is no Zenkai boost, which Black proceeds to beat down Vegeta yet again. And meanwhile, while that's happening, we also get to see something else happen involving future Trunks. Now future Trunks actually managed to use the solar flare to escape after witnessing Vegeta get beat down. Now again, I love Toyotaro's work because every single individual frame shot looks incredible, even during one specific scene when we get to see Zamasu get impaled, in which later results in Zamasu revealing his immortality to Goku. We see how Zamasu begins to slowly rip out the pipe that's lodged inside of him, which again I felt was really awesome, because we get to see Trunks' facial expression, we get to see Goku's facial expression, we get to see everyone's facial expression once he begins to tear apart the pipe, in which results in him revealing that he is in fact immortal. Now this is very different than the anime, because if you guys remember in the anime, we saw how Trunks was the one that stabbed Zamasu using his own sword, mind you, but now we see something very different happen as we see this giant metal pipe get lodged into Zamasu, and then later on we see how he rips it out, laughing at everyone and saying that he is immortal and he cannot die. Now one thing that strikes me is what Zamasu spoke about the rose form, and saying that the pink variation in what Black is using is the true form of a god. Now we don't really know what that means yet. We're gonna have to wait for the full translations and seeing what this actually means, because a lot of us were wondering as to if this is the corrupt variation of Super Saiyan Blue, as to how strong it is in comparison to Super Saiyan Blue, but the way Zamasu is referring to this this form in the manga, he makes it seem like the pinnacle of a god's power lies within Super Saiyan Rose, so we're gonna have to wait on that. But of course, we see how Trunks knows of the solar flare. Now, could he have learned this through Gohan? It is suggested, according to Herms, that in fact, yes, he learned it from Gohan. Now, here's another key difference that I picked up on the manga chapter that different from the anime. Now, if you pay attention to the beginning of Vegeta versus Goku Black still seems to be fighting in his regular Super Saiyan form during early on until, of course, Goku and Vegeta rendezvous together to take on Zamasu and Goku Black as a pair. Now, after that, we get to see how Black transforms into Super Saiyan Rose, so we get to see that transformation debut towards the very end of this manga chapter. But even with that being said, after Goku Black was revived, he had gained such a Zenkai boost that he was able to keep up against Blue Vegeta, sort of like having like an evenly fought battle until he was able to transform, which picks up later on as we see that Vegeta is absolutely no match for Super Saiyan Rose Goku Black. However, if you look at Goku versus Zamasu, even during the portions when they fought, we get to see how Zamasu desperately attempted to stab Goku, but to no avail, it failed. And we get to see how Zamasu kept throwing things at Goku, he kept trying to distract Goku, and nothing worked. However, even after the pipe was lodged within him, we get to see how quickly he stole the Senzu beans, since that was his plan from the get-go, and he turned the tides on Goku. And very opposite to how Future Mai and Yajirobe were able to save the day, we see how Future Trunks uses the solar flare to distract Goku Black and Zamasu as he rescues them in order to go underground. Now, this is very different because in the anime variation, we see how Vegeta gets stabbed, we see how Goku Black uses the Kamehameha against Trunks and Goku, but in this manga chapter, we don't see that. We only get to see Goku and Vegeta versus Black and Zamasu. But even while Trunks made the save to get Goku and Vegeta away from trouble, we see how Zamasu and Goku Black are talking, and we see how Goku Black seems to pity them, but also doesn't seem to be concerned in the least because he knows that they will return. And we see how both of them are trying to pick up on their vibrations, on their energy, and we see how Mai kind of uses herself as a distraction coming out of the sewer as Goku Black and Zamasu actually think at first that it's Goku and Vegeta trying to make an escape, and he realized that it's Mai. So once Goku Black and Zamasu realize that it's not Goku and Vegeta, we see how Mai instantly turns around with her shotgun and she begins to shoot Goku Black and Zamasu, again very different than the anime. And then out of the blue, we see how Super Saiyan Trunks comes up and sneaks up behind Zamasu and he stabs him directly from the back with his sword. Very different than how we saw it in the anime, because in the anime, Trunks stabs Zamasu directly through the chest with the sword, whereas opposed to in the manga variation, we see how he just rapidly shows up flying right behind Zamasu and stabs him from the spine through the chest with his sword. And we see how Trunks is actually trying to kick Black down, trying to kick Zamasu down, trying to buy time for, yes, Goku and Vegeta to escape through the time machine. Now, we see how Goku Black notices this and he tries to destroy Goku and Vegeta while they're in the time machine, and Trunks makes the save. Trunks attempts to make the save until he is put down by the hands of Black. Now, one thing I do have to give credit on Toryotaro is the way Goku Black was holding down Future Trunks into the dirt while Goku and Vegeta made their escape. Now, that's where the manga chapter ends. We get to see how Goku Black grabs Trunks by the face and slams his head onto the ground. Now, there is no key indication nor confirmation that Trunks had become a Super Saiyan Rage during this particular scene, but rather have Goku and Vegeta escape back into the past while Trunks attempts to hold him back in the future. Now, this manga chapter, I was fearful that Toryotaro was going to rush it because during one of the conventions, he mentioned that how the anime and the manga are going to be similar, even having the manga catch up to the anime. So we haven't seen Super Saiyan Blue Vegeta yet. We haven't seen Merge Zamasu. We can only assume that those are going to come after alongside Super Saiyan Rage as well. But I will leave a link down below for you guys to go ahead and read the manga chapters on your own. It is an incredible read. If you pay attention to all the art and the detail, Toryotaro is my favorite, one of my favorite artists for Dragon Ball, because the bits and details that he had created for Black, for Trunks, even during the battle between Super Saiyan Rose, Goku Black, and Vegeta was incredible. You get to see how the tides turn, but the one thing that concerns me is the idea that Zamasu believes that once you surpass the power of the gods, your hair or your aura turns pink. Now, I don't want to sit here and say that yes, we might just get to see Super Saiyan Rose again, because I really doubt that's going to be a thing that's only made out for Goku Black and Goku Black only, for that is his form. But I find it a little odd how Zamasu mentions that in the manga, but never ever specifies this or mentions this in the anime, which I do believe actually gives us a little hint as to how strong Super Saiyan Rose is, because we have an idea as to how strong Black truly is, because after he was, healed up by Zamasu, and after Zamasu came by and healed his wounds, we saw how out of the blue he had such a Zenkai boost to where he was able to keep up with Vegeta and even beat Vegeta down until he became a Super Saiyan Rose. Now there's more to this manga chapter, guys, in which case I will comment down below and give you guys translations on, but I think that this manga chapter, I don't think it was as good as the last month's issue with chapter number 19, because that was the first time we get to see Super Saiyan Goku Black. That was the first time we get to see various different things. However, I do favor this in terms of fights because we get to see the little details of how Vegeta was struggling against Black this time rather than just kicking his ass like he did before. So the one thing I do like is the pacing so far. There were certain things that weren't added in, such as the final flash, the Kamehameha. We didn't get to see how Mai used her motorcycle and Yajirobe was dragging Goku and Vegeta through the dirt, but instead we see how it was Trunks that lured the solar flare, and once he executed and used the solar flare, that's when he was able to get them to safety. So there are differences in the manga, but I would like to know down below, do you guys favor the manga or the anime based on what you saw? Because based on some of the fight scenes that we saw here, based on how they took away the whole stab sequence, based on how they took away Trunks and Goku fighting together to battle Zamasu and Goku Black, but instead we jumped right in to having Goku and Vegeta, you know, go 2-on-2 against Goku Black and Zamasu. So very different yet again. We see how Zamasu stole the senzu beans, we see how Vegeta got his ass kicked, and then even after he got a senzu bean, he did not gain any sort of Zenkai boost, because according to Trunks, he said that since Vegeta had been training for so long and since he gotten so strong, you know, he doesn't have that need anymore to have any sort of, you know, power up and whatever. So it kind of sucks seeing that even after Vegeta ate the senzu bean, he should have gained the massive Zenkai boost, but instead he did not. So post your comments down below, guys. What are your overall thoughts on this manga chapter? I liked it. I like the details. That's just my opinion, of course. Some people out there may differ and they might say, well, you this and that and the third. You guys can go ahead and read the actual manga chapter down below. Translations, guys, by Herms98 on Twitter. Now, if I may, of course, the one thing I do not like about this particular manga chapter is how we didn't get to see any sort of interaction with future Trunks. Now, we get to see future Trunks make that interaction towards the end, but the whole sequence between him and Goku are cut out. The whole sequence between him fighting Zamasu, him fighting Goku Black has been cut out. One can only make the assumption that yes, that'll be coming next month in the form of Dragon Ball Super manga chapter number 21, because towards the very end, instead of having Trunks power up and having to deem Black as being dead in his eyes and all that kind of stuff, instead we see Black holding him down right as Goku and Vegeta leave. But I love the whole sequence of Trunks sneaking up behind Zamasu and stabbing him from behind rather than stabbing him from the front, because we get to see everyone's facial expression, especially Black's and Zamasu's, the moment Trunks did that. I will link everything down below, guys. Thank you all for watching yet again. I hope you guys enjoyed. If you guys did, make sure to leave a like down below. If you guys love Dragon Ball, don't forget to subscribe to this channel for more Dragon Ball news, information, discussions, gameplays, reviews, and updates. In case you guys enjoyed, make sure to leave a like down below. Post your comments down below as well, guys. See you all down below, and let me know what you guys think, because I definitely prefer the manga variation just a little bit when it comes to certain things. I really wish they kept the stab scene because I thought that was Black's trademark. But post your comments down below, guys. Thank you all for watching once again, and I'll be seeing you all down below in the comments. Take it easy, guys. Peace.